Ronin Pro Wrestling in South Florida. We're at the Broward College Gym in Pembroke Pines, and wow, Sue Young. She is doing so much. She is wrestling so much. Great character, great persona, great talent. Sue, how did you get started in professional wrestling?
I got started through the love of professional wrestling through my father, and that kind of gave me the bite of the bug, I guess you can say. After high school, I went to Tennessee to go train under Bill Dundee, and superstar Bill Dundee. And after that, it didn't really take too long because I was kind of like one of the only girls in the area. So WWE picked me up to their developmental area of FCW. And not too long after that, I got released, and I went to Japan, China, working with WWN a lot, going to Texas for Anarchy Championship Wrestling. Lately, I've been winning titles with a lot of women companies like WSU, Girl Fight, Queens of Combat. I just recently wrestled for Fest Wrestling, which is an awesome crowd and an awesome group of people. Kaiju Big Battle's always been one of my favorites. Just loving life right now.
You mentioned superstar Bill Dundee.
Yes.
What was that like in experience from him? That's a legend. What, Jerry Lawler, Memphis, big wrestling down there and all. What was it like with him and working that area?
Learning from superstar Bill Dundee is a big, I guess you can say it's a really big chance of luck, because honestly, you don't realize, within wrestling, especially being so young, the rich history that man has, going through him. So going on the road with him to training in the ring with him, I learned so much. He's told some of the best stories in wrestling I've ever heard in my life. And he's a very hilarious man. Such a sweet guy. I love him.
How did you get that opportunity then with FCW and WWE?
I actually got an opportunity because I was managing his protege, which is also my trainer, Kevin White, and I got into Memphis Wrestling. They saw me on there. They had me do a live tryout at a SmackDown session, and rest is history from there.
What was it like for you to have that tryout and be a part of that and experience there?
Honestly, with my age, it was very overwhelming, and I was so excited. You're taking a kid to Disney World or Disneyland, so it was one of those things where I was like, oh, this is such a great opportunity, and I get to be around all my favorite wrestlers and see the people that I watched up growing, and it was awesome.
Who did you have that match against?
I actually got to work out with Serena. She actually did the CM Punk stuff around that time, so it was awesome. She's phenomenal. I wish she'd come back to wrestling.
Who are some of your favorites growing up?
Some of my favorites, obviously, we have the women wrestlers like Trish and Molly Holly and Lita, but I looked up to people like Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle and Triple H and Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon, definitely. Shane, you definitely have an influence in my career. I also love Tajiri and Sabu, and Scott Steiner has always been one of my favorites. So I can't deny Scott Steiner. You have my heart.
Were you athletic growing up?
I was athletic, but I wasn't given a lot of athletic opportunities because my heart has always been for art. And a lot of, creative, passionate feelings during school where I wanted to do physical things. But I actually ended up going to the marching band and doing jazz and doing some acting classes and taking art classes, psychology classes, and, different things like that in high school that kind of led me to be who I am now.
But Sue, that's also a part of this too when you think about it, because it's athletic, but it's also entertainment, and there's acting involved, and there's other facets like that. Do you feel like some of those things have helped you in your progression?
Absolutely. I feel like, for people to associate with other people, there has to be a common interest and common goal, and, when you look at people, you can see through their eyes what kind of person they are. Yeah.
Character development. Now, this character, Sue Young, she's bizarre. She's out there. It seems like it's totally different than from who you are, but you pull it off so well. Just what was the inspiration behind that, coming up with this persona? And explain it to us a little bit for anyone that hasn't seen you yet.
Well, this person that we're talking about is the absolute polar opposite of what you see now, basically. This is definitely a person you don't want to meet down a dark alley. You see her coming out with blood dripping down her mouth, paint on her face. You don't know what's going on with her. She's wearing a wedding dress. What is going on with this lady? And on top of that, you know, just her mannerisms and, you know, the way she interacts with people, it's very bizarre and very unique, I guess you can say. You have to come to a show and see it live. That's the only way you'll understand.
How do you like that character?
I absolutely love it. I think a lot of people, you know, when they look at someone's potential and they want to see them in a different light, but they don't know what, this is another venue or another route that someone can go and express themselves in another manner. I suggest everyone, you know, if you have something in your heart you want to do, definitely go for it.
Some of the groups you've mentioned that you've worked for, your resume, it's like a who's who of wrestling groups. It's amazing. But also Shine, you do a lot of work with Shine,
yes.
Evolve, FIP. What has it been like working for Shine, Evolve, and FIP?
WWN Live is such an amazing family and such a great group of people. Some of the most unique, talented people within independent wrestling come here and basically share their heart and their art and, you know, how they feel with everybody, and that's a big thing to me. And I think, you know, with how everything is going right now, the future is looking amazing.
Especially for women's wrestling.
Absolutely.
That's a huge thing. And also, what are the goals for you?
To be honest, these are my goals. For the rest of my career, I want to wrestle in front of everybody and anyone that wants to see me wrestle, all over the world. It doesn't matter for who it's for or what it's about or anything along those lines. If I can share this with you and I can show you my heart and you can feel something from that, because I've seen it, you know, affect people positively, and some people, you know, start thinking, and I get messages from people that tell me, hey, you make me happy. Well, guess what? The only reason why I make you happy is because you make me happy.
I've got to ask you about the headgear.
Yes!
What do we got? Power Rangers here?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So a little bit, we're going off the script a little bit here, but what's the backstory of the Power Rangers? You a big Power Rangers fan?
I am a huge Power Rangers fan. We actually have a group associated with this, the Florida SuperCon wrestling company that runs the Florida SuperCon, and I got to be the Yellow Ranger, and it was awesome. We had Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed actually introduce us, and tears. Like, if anyone knows me, I'm a huge Power Rangers fan, so like that was a memorable moment in my career.
Social media, what do we got?
We have Twitter. You can follow me under Real Sue Young, RealSuYung, as well as Facebook. And if you want to contact me, you can always email me at realsueyoung@yahoo.com.